Water is essential to every living thing. Nonetheless, considering the vast water resource potential and endowment in Nigeria, the country is still faced with a wide deficit in this area. My guest is the Minister of Water Resources, and he talks about the way out of this challenge, the federal government's water sector roadmap. Hello there, thank you for joining me on the program this week. I'm Gloria Umezuke. Apart from the challenge of power, there are also issues of inadequate water, and that spans across the country. Well, this is in spite of the nation's abundant water resource. So to tackle this, the federal government brought up the National Water Resources Master Plan, which estimates that Nigeria has about 3.14 million hectares of irrigable land, out of which only 130,000 hectares has been developed under formal irrigation. Now, this again is against the backdrop of reports that the river basin authorities have performed woefully. However, the federal government has designed a roadmap to maximize the resources in the water sector over the next 15 years. The Minister of Water Resources gives details in this interview. But coming up next, the federal government has unveiled immediate and long-term strategies for the water sector, with the projection that the country will need a yearly investment of 59 billion naira to attain 78,000 hectares of irrigation by 2019 and 1.5 trillion naira to attain 500,000 hectares by 2030. Take a listen. In Nigeria, there may be water everywhere, but definitely not enough to drink and for agricultural purposes. This ugly development is owing to the inability of the federal, state and local governments to make potable water available to its citizens and for irrigation. But the present administration appears ready to turn the tide as it rolls out a new master plan for the water sector. Apart from increasing land for irrigation, the master plan has a blueprint to strengthen river basins in the country to improve food supply, security and job creation. Results are expected within 18 to 24 months.
We intend developing our irrigation potential to 500,000 hectares at government level through direct government intervention, and to facilitate the development of another 1 million hectares by large-scale commercial farmers through our community public-private partnership initiative.
The public presentation of the water sector roadmap is coming less than a week after the government launched another roadmap in the agricultural sector, and it has the necessary backing for its full implementation.
We know that we can no longer continue to rely on rainfall to sustain our agricultural ambitions, and they are very big.
I'm ever ready, along with my colleagues in the Senate Committee on Water Resources, and indeed the entire senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to be supportive of all of any bill aimed at resolving water and sanitation problems in Nigeria.
Resources in Nigeria's water sector includes dams and reservoirs, river basins and irrigation, water supply intervention and sanitation, among others. These are resources Nigerians will like to see the roadmap develop in due time. I had a conversation with Engineer Suleiman Adamu, the Minister of Water Resources, on the challenges limiting the sector from achieving its full potential. Engineer Suleiman Adamu, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Well, the federal government has now launched a roadmap for the nation's water sector. Give us insights into this immediate and long-term strategies.
First of all, for a long time in this country, we've been used to short-term plans, looking at a horizon 1-2 years, or in case of maybe state governments or governors, you think you have a 4-year horizon. But we wanted to look at this thing differently. The water sector is a very strategic sector. This is a federal ministry. We have a national water resources master plan, and therefore we are going to deal with a lot of strategic projects that have long gestation periods in terms of planning and then implementation. So we thought that a horizon of 15 years would be a good starting point. And the idea is that also there's so much lack of continuity in government, but we said let us put a plan so that I'm not going to be here for 15 years, obviously, but any other minister that would come will have a plan already on ground and will be able to just continue, hopefully, with what we are putting on ground. So we broke the program into maybe 3 segments. We have first stage will be like 2016 to 2019, then to 2024, 25, and then the remaining 5 years. And we prioritize our projects. The top priority projects will be handled within the next 4 years, and then we spread the rest. But it's also tailored in accordance with some of the international commitments we have made. For instance, the Sustainable Development Goals, and specifically SDG 6 for this ministry, which relates to water and sanitation. The SDG goals are for us to be able to attain 100% coverage of water and sanitation by the year 2030. So to remain consistent with the SDG goals and the SDG target, as well as maintain some consistency also with the National Water Resources Master Plan, which is also a 15-year program to the year 2030. We thought, look, the best way is just to put our roadmap to be in sync with these 2 major frameworks, and everything we are going to do in this ministry, hopefully in the next 15 years, will be within the framework of the National Water Resources Master Plan and the SDG 6.
How many of the short-term plans you met on ground are you following up on?
Almost all the dam and irrigation and water projects we have met. We have no intention of abandoning them except under critical situations. So we said we organized a technical audit of all the projects. I inherited 117 projects, ongoing projects.
Across the country? Across
the country. And I'll tell you that to the best of my knowledge, I've asked this question since 1999. Not a single one of those projects was commissioned. So I now felt that the best thing for us to do, so much money has been invested in these projects, is we must try and finish them.
Not a single one of the 117 have been commissioned. Is that what you said?
Yes, that's what I'm saying, yes. And when I say commission, I mean fully closed.
Yes.
The project is finished, is serving its people, the contractors have been paid off, the final accounts have been done, and it's closed. All these projects are running. Some have been abandoned for 16 years. The contracts are still subsisting because they have not been cancelled, So it only makes sense that we should prioritize these projects and continue. So what we did after the technical audit, we've set up some criteria and asked the experts that helped us to do the technical audit to rank those projects based on the criteria. Which ones do you think are top priority? Which are medium priority? Which are low priority? Which do you think we should abandon and cut our losses and move on? And they all did that, and even today we're reviewing some of these projects. We're virtually finished with all the water supply projects. We've prioritized them, and based on that priority, we're working on the dams and irrigation projects now. We're taking the priorities. We are now going to sit down with the contractors, see what is there. Those that we have some funding in the budget to pay, we pay them some money and get them back to site. Those that are not within the budget, we'll prioritize, we'll do all the program, and we'll make sure we start including them in the 2017 budget so that we can complete those as well. But that is not to say also there will not be new projects. There are some strategic projects that have been identified by the master plan, which we must begin to prepare for because of the lasting strategic importance they have to the country.
All right, hold on to your thoughts. We're still with the Minister of Water Resources. We'll be right back for more on this. Please join us again.